The hijacking of the 2016 Brexit referendum ensured where we are today in Britain with the rioting. It was, in my view, inevitable that because racism was allowed out of the bag, that we would end up with a violent situation sooner or later. Yesterday, I decided to contribute to the debate on Vanessa Phelps' show on LBC.
Liz on the line in Cricklade. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Vanessa. You've had a busy day.
Haven't I? And what about that last caller and the girlfriend and the pretending to be a lesbian and getting a council flat within seconds and all of that? Blimey, what a story. Cool.
That was a bit of whataboutery, I think. But I wanted to talk about your two Jasons.
Go on then.
One good Jason, a lovely Jason, and one very worrying Jason, I would say.
Very honest, though. I think I know which one you think's the worrying and which one you think's the other one. But I think, honest, at least.
Well, look, the problem, it happened in 2016 when people thought that voting for Brexit, or they were misled to believe, and I'm remembering that poster now, with
of course.
Mr Farage stood in front of it, that Brexit meant that it would stop all immigration, which, of course, those of us on the other side knew that was never going to be the case. The Australian point system was always a liberalising of immigration. And we said that to people. If you vote for this, it'll mean more immigration. It'll mean coming out of the Dublin Convention and having no control or very little control over asylum seekers. And that's what's happened. So instead of focusing on minorities, it breaks my heart to hear the good Jason and what his wife is going through, and my friends who are threatened and feel scared because of the colour of their skin.
Yep.
I mean, it's horrendous, and it's a stain on all of us in this country that is happening here right now. But what I would say is that people who feel angry, instead of going out and behaving like right-wing thugs, they should actually start thinking about who misled them to get angry. Because the people that misled you are there on social media trying to get you even more angry and make it that it's all about immigration and ethnic minorities and people coming over here. I mean, Nigel Farage's family came over here. My family came over here. I don't look like it, but we've all got ancestors who came over here. We are an island of immigration, immigrants, and let's celebrate that. And the issue is we've got people pitting people against each other to cause violence and problems and actually make things a heck of a lot worse. These communities destroyed. What are they waking up to now? Things are worse. They're not better. It's horrendous. So I hope that people manage to calm down, think about this a bit more carefully. Keir Starmer is doing a brilliant job. He is the man of law and order. He's only been in office a few weeks. Let's give him our support.
I just want one line from you. One line from you. Just one, Liz, on elaborating just a tiny bit on your statement. Keir Starmer is doing a brilliant job. What has he done so far that you think is brilliant, just out of interest?
I think he's had a very limited time to do anything, but I think the commentary that he's given has been very reassuring to me. My family, actually, my son was attacked some years ago in 2007. We have been victims of a horrendous violent crime. And so for me personally, having a statesman delivering that kind of speech saying, we've got it, it's under control, we're going to do the right thing, we're going to uphold the law. The law is what keeps us safe. Not one man, it's somebody and a system ensuring that the law is upheld. And that involves all of us. If we don't uphold the law, then, dear God, we're into complete chaos. And that's where we all as citizens have responsibility to ensure that we back our government, we back our police, we back our system. Because our enemies beyond Britain who want chaos would celebrate the fact that people are demonising Keir Starmer, our new Prime Minister. He's won a massive mandate. He's got a huge majority. This is Britain speaking. This is democracy. And so it's vital that we all get together and we fight for what is good for us all, which is prosperity, safety and love.
Amen.
And that's what we
Amen.
need.
Prosperity, safety and love, not necessarily in that order, but all three excellent. Good health as well. Liz, thank you very much.
And here is what the good Jason had to say to Vanessa Phelps yesterday.
And let's talk to Jason in Slough about all of this. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Vanessa.
Thank you very much for ringing. So now you're going to talk to me about your wife and how she's feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough for me this morning. I just made her a tea as usual, and she was reading the headlines and what have you, and she was like, "I'm afraid to go out at the moment. My wife's Indian."
Yeah.
And I kind of just tried to shake it off so that she wouldn't feel so bad. But it's made me fuming that she should have to feel like this.
Do you feel that she's right? I mean, if she were to go into Slough, to the centre of Slough today, is it likely that anything would happen or not likely?
Probably not Slough, to be honest with you. But I've just bought, it's her birthday next week. I've just bought a ticket to go into London and stuff. And now I feel like I've done her a disservice, potentially. And she does so much. I mean, she's British. You know what I mean? She was born here. She does so much for this country. She's a chairman of governors. She does as much work as she can for charity and for the people, and her whole family do. And now it's made me fuming that she's now afraid to go outside because of what's going on in this country.
But do you think that fear is to some extent fueled by social media, fueled by the media? So she feels as if she's going to, set foot outside her house. There's going to be an enormous explosive riot, but actually there isn't, and she'll be fine or not?
I'm not saying it's outside the house.
No.
It just means that, I mean, to be honest, she most of the time she spends in Slough and Southall, which are very multicultural areas.
Exactly, and so is almost all of London too. When you say you're worried that she, coming into London, she might encounter something. Heaven forbid. But I mean, it's pretty unlikely, isn't it, or not? Am I wrong? I mean, I live in London.
To be honest, that's the way I feel. I don't let anyone give me fear for anything, especially people rioting and stuff like this. But then I'm a very different person to her. She's an incredibly strong person, but I don't know what it's like to be brown and go into London when there's riots going on. Just like I didn't know how it was to be Jewish when other things were going off in London. It's just a really horrible state of affairs, and it's made me so angry. And just the thought of calling you actually made me cry, which is something I don't do very often.
I'm really sorry to hear that. That's absolutely dreadful. Do you have any kind of faith in the Prime Minister or Home Secretary, or the two of them combined to stamp this out?
I'm actually a Labour Party member, and I think he's very strong on law and order, and I believe there will be repercussions for the people who do it. I truly believe that cause these problems, but that doesn't help her at the moment. It won't help her until the riots stop, right? And people stop shouting people just because of the colour of their skin and assumptions about their beliefs and religions. And I live in a very multicultural area. I have a very multicultural bunch of friends, whether they're Muslims, Christian, Hindu, it does not make any difference to me. And every one of those person are great people that I know. My friends are great people to this country and all give more than they take from it, whether they're immigrants or not. And I believe if we got, I'm not saying we could, this is a serious suggestion, but if we got rid of all the people on the riots and replaced those with immigrants who thought of the privilege it is to live in this country, I'll bet you the economy and the country and the public services would move forward far.
And tell me whether you heard the call from Jason in Carlisle just before. Did you hear that when he was absolutely kind of bristling with anger?
I caught most of it.
What did you make of it?
It was honest, which I appreciate.
It was honest, so did I. I appreciated it, but what did you think?
I just think it's when the media is feeding people that, it's the people on the boats that are causing the problems in this country. I think you'll find that most of the problems in this country are from people who were born in this country. And most of the people coming in on boats are the most desperate people in this country. You know what I mean? They're the lowest. They're the ones with the most to gain from being in the country and the most for the country to gain from it. They're desperate people, and the media uses them as a target when the actual problem with this country are probably the rich people who want the Conservatives reform and people like that to win. I'm not sure how to finish my sentence, but I believe that they're the ones who want to reduce public services, want to make law and order. They're the ones that have reduced the police, the NHS, etc. It is not the immigrants that are the big problem. And I'd just like to see any statistics to back it up.
And do you feel as if at the heart of this is simply racism, that's what it really is? It's just kind of naked bigotry disguised as an anti-immigration feeling. I think
people look for an excuse for it. They look for an excuse to bring out their racism, and they think this is a good one because other people are there and they'll feel justified. And it's normally because they don't feel valued in themselves, but being racist and amongst racists makes them feel superior for a limited amount of time, and I think that's why they do it.
All right, well, I'm sorry that your wife is feeling such trepidation, and I'm sorry that you're feeling so emotional at the thought of her feeling so beleaguered in her own country, and as you quite rightly say, the country for which she works so incredibly hard. And I hope she will go out and enjoy her weekend celebrations in London. I hope she'll do it with a free heart and without fear, but I can't obviously guarantee it, neither can you.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and do comment below. Let me know what you think.